What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Wraith carry. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Auto Health Potion, Fast Travel, Multi-Shot, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and Healing Towers for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Cold the Weak, Demolitionist, Nitro Boost, Sand Speeder, Invader Mage, Glycerin Dawn, Pressure Hunter, Swamp Stalker, Heavy Hitter, Wound Seeker, and lastly Shatter Golem. Now I actually test out Death Crawler in this game, and I took it out of the deck for one specific reason. I don't think the card is currently working correctly, and it's just not proccing right now. And on top of that, with Wraith's already slow attack speed, I think there's just much better options. So it's really got two things working against it. The attack speed on top of, hey, it's just not working. So we took that out of this deck. I have not really played just an entire lot of Wraith ever. I was never the biggest fan of him whenever he came out. Since I switched to more of a casual player, I never really played in 5 stacks. Of course, now that now that our channel's growing and everything like that, as the Pirate Crew, as us as a community, we play a lot together. So I'm very seldom by myself, but for the previous, 4 or 5 months, I've been playing pretty much by myself. So with a hero like Wraith, that's just such a huge team player, all of his abilities are meant to be for a team. If you're playing by yourself, I just find him very, very underwhelming. And, it is what it is. I am in comms with our Richter and our Greystone, who's, of course, in the off lane. So there's, we've got 3 people in a party, and we start this match off very strong, and I'm actually pretty happy with how Wraith feels. Most people you see a lot of people playing Wraith as a carry lately, and that's not because Wraith is so much of an amazing carry. It's because Wraith is so good for a team. If you've got some solid CC, or, some solid fighters, things like that, Wraith can, rewind the guy into the middle of, a Steel ult, or, a Richter ult, something like that, and y'all can just straight up CC the guy to death. And, if enemies are running away that have barely any health, Wraith can wrap up that kill. Wraith really provides just a huge service for your team, and that's really where he's coming off as being such a great, ADC. And on top of that, ADCs are kind of in a goofy spot right now. I think they do take a little bit too long to come online, but when they do come online, it's a light switch. They're not good, and then they're amazing, and I think that's a little bit of an issue. But, we'll see what happens. Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened with this Shimby. I don't think she really DC'd, because she comes right back into lane. I don't know if, she spilled her drink or something. I don't know. But we end up wrapping up that kill. I don't really... I kill people, I'm going to take every advantage that I can. I guess you could maybe call me a tryhard, but I very seldom would go, oh, this guy's, he's hanging out, just DC'd or whatever. I'm going to kill the person. That's just who I am. I'm never going to allow someone to get an advantage because I've just, said, oh, they DC'd. I'm just going to leave them alone. No. You're going down, buddy. So, it is what it is. Now, I would like to talk about what's about to happen. So, we get this next wave pushed in, and Richter decides to head into the tower to do some damage, and, that's okay. He's at the point where he might be able to hurt it a little bit, but he gets pinned in by the minions. And this is a huge problem. You see, he tells me, hey, I'm pinned, and I try to go rewind Shimby, but, I can't do anything for him. And he's going to end up going down there. And that is one issue with, going under the tower. You might have to deal with some situation like that. Shimby did a great job of pinning him in and not letting him escape, which, I gotta say, I don't know if that, body blocking like that should really exist. That seems kind of cheap, but it is in the game right now, and people need to be aware of that. So there's really honestly no reason for Richter to go under tower at level 4 with no power cards on, because he's going to hit the tower very, very weak. And we're going to down this tower, here at this next wave anyways. So by him going under tower, all he really did was feed their Shimby. He did barely any damage to the tower, especially since he was focused on trying to get out most of the time anyways. And so as a melee support, it's better to just stay out of that tower. That way you can peel for your ADC if you need to. And really just use the opportunity to keep vision on the map, things like that. There's almost no reason to actually go in on a fight like that. Now, I was not expecting Richter to keep chasing that. We probably could have actually downed this Shimby right here if we would have had a little better communication on that. And that is something we definitely have to work on as a team is, we just need to better communicate things. Anybody that's kind of newer to the ADC role, pay attention right here, because if you watch, I'm going to back, I've down my tier 1 on my side. I'm going to back, head to mid lane, and shove this lane in and try to get some damage on it. And, we get a little bit of a poke, and then head back to my lane, farm this lane up, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm not setting this lane, I'm pushing it. That way, Shimby actually has to deal with it. But Richter does get into an engagement, so I'm going to head down to help him out. But you can see rotating to mid to help down that mid tower, because a caster needs help to down a tower. Now we are able to take out that Iggy. Unfortunately, Iggy takes out Richter before we could get the kill. And, my rewind's on cooldown, so I can't deal with their Shimby at the moment. But we did, we traded a mid laner for a support. I would say that's a win. And, this is also going to force their Wukong to have to rotate to that off lane to actually deal with that wave. Now, we are making some pretty decent progress here at this mid-tier 1, and, we aren't able to quite secure it, but I need to head back to my lane and go farm. So, this is what you want to do. Just go help take that objective, but make sure your lane's staying safe. If your lane is in a safe spot, go take the objective. Now, we do have some rotation, and I don't want to deal with this. I say, Richter, hey, let's get out. And we're able to use that ultimate to actually get out of here. Unfortunately, our Richter does take a pretty good chunk of damage from that Shimby, but that's quite alright. We should be able to defend this tower, no problem at all, and just really continue to farm. Pressure Hunter, it feels like a very solid card if you're going for that ADC type build on to, your Wraith. Now from here, I'm actually going to back, and that was simply because, Shimby doesn't have any mana, she's not going to stick around, and I'm just going to go ahead and back, that way I can be in lane before she's going to be in lane, and this is going to allow me to farm up. With Richter staying there, I was not concerned about it at all. Now, we do end up rotating to mid, because again, I've set my lane. And Richter gets a great pull on this Iggy. We're able to do tons of damage, and then I rewind him. Now, I'm not in comms with Gadget, and you can see that was an issue there. Gadget used her ultimate, and I rewound Iggy, so Iggy took 0 damage from her ultimate. And I think this is Wraith's biggest downfall. Wraith is such a great team player, but if you're not in a team, he's a really good waste your stuff player. So, I think that's where kind of one of the issues comes from with Wraith. And you can see this Shimby actually heads in, she's able to do tons of damage to me. And our Gadget, she wasn't aware that that was happening. So We took a lot more damage than we really should have, but hey, we forced her ultimate out. I'm just going to go ahead and back from here and really see if I can make some more plays happen. Now, I am able to put on Heavy Hitter with that Sand Speeder, so I should be cranking out some damage now. You know, a Heavy Hitter is such a good card, guys. That 15% damage off, man, it's so nice. So, we're just going to force this lane. You can see we're kind of doing the same thing. Push that lane, rotate. Now, I'm going to go ahead and rewind Iggy. And you can see this is another example of, you know, just teamwork not working. You know, if I would have been in comms with Chimera, he wouldn't have had to waste that ult. And I didn't know he was going to ult, so I rewound him. But I am in comms with our Greystone, so me and Greystone communicated, hey, what I'm going to do. That's why he was down in the Raptor pit waiting for it to happen. Now again, this is the second time I've wasted a teammate's ultimate. You know, I wasted that ultimate on that Chimera just right then, and I wasted the ultimate on Gadget. And although, you know, hey, we still got the kill, that's huge. You know, we got both those kills without needing those ultimates, so we could have saved those ultimates for when we actually needed them. And again, that's just kind of Wraith's downfall, in my opinion. Now, I do kind of head over to that off lane. We had some rotation over there. I wanted to see if I could actually help out. You know, I do have my ult. Now, I go ahead and use it right now. Richter, you know, he needs to get out. And I'm thinking, hey, this Shimpy's kind of split up and she's not really getting out. So I'm just going to go in on her. I should be able to take her out. And, you know, if I could aim a little better, I would have taken her out much easier. But we do end up getting that knock, and we're able to take her out. Now, Murdoch's right behind me. I'm going to go ahead and rewind him. Iggy is chasing me, and since I don't have my ultimate, you know, I've just got to do the best that I can. But one thing about Iggy is he's not very good at chasing until he gets something like Stagnant Dominion, you know, a card like that. Now, you can see our Richter was down below, and that Wukong is right there coming towards us. So Richter does a great peel on me, you know, for me. He ends up going down, you know, their Wukong is getting very fed. And since, you know, he's able to take out our green buff, you know, Richter can't even hit back or it'll kill him. But we ended up actually getting out of that situation, which is, you know, that's very good. We do end up taking out that Iggy, so, you know, hey, that was a great play, but I'm fairly low, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to back and try to keep up that forward progress elsewhere. Now, sure enough, I'm going to head back to my safe lane. You know, this minion wave is getting pushed in, and I'm going to just kind of push that wave a little bit, but there is a fight happening, so, you know, I leave that wave, even though it is not set, you know, or set how I would like. I'm going to rotate over and see if I could help out. Sure enough, Wukong pushed that wave, and you can see I rotate over. I'm able to deal with that fairly easily, but from here, my Richter joins me, and we're able to just put a massive amount of pressure onto this inhib. Now, the reasoning behind this was our team is at their tier 2 in mid. So, by keeping pressure up on both sides, we're really able to, you know, yeah, make some real forward progress. We take out that tier 2, and we end up actually taking out this Shimby as well, which, you know, great plays all around. And, you know, we get a good amount of damage onto that steel, but weren't quite able to take him out. Now, if you see there, Murdoch is heading over, and since I'm in such an engagement, I didn't realize we lost 2 people. I knew that our Greystone was down, but, you know, hey, it's no problem. Richter makes a great pull onto that Murdoch, and we're able to take him out, but, again, I did not realize we were down 2 people. And then, you know, I'm actually thinking our Gadget and our Chimera are going to go deal with Wukong at this moment, and you can see our Chimera just runs into the jungle instead of helping deal with that inhib. And unfortunately, we lost that inhib when me and Richter, we probably could have headed out to actually do something there. But, you know, that was a bad play on our part. That was just a very unfortunate situation. You know, not having map awareness, not being in comms. there were a lot of factors there, and, you know, we should have actually left. We shouldn't have kept that pressure up for as long as we did. I thought we were going to actually make a lot more progress there, but, you know, yeah, we definitely didn't. Now, I am able to put Deathcrawler on, and, you know, I'm just going to fast forward it, but just take my word for it. The only time it ever puts a timer on is that first hit, and after that, it never puts a timer on. It is proccing, but, you know, without having that timer on, I never know when it's going to proc, so I can't aim the shot. You know, I can't go, okay, it's time to shoot the bad guy, because, you know, yeah. And you see here, we are able to take out the Shimby, but, you know, my aim's so bad. And Wukong shows up and just absolutely destroys me. You know, you know, that was not as fortunate as I would have liked it to be. But we do go down there, and, you know, that wasn't terrible. We were pushed up pretty far, and hopefully my team can put pressure elsewhere so we don't lose any towers. But I definitely say, hey, Deathcrawler, hey, if I can't see the timer, it's not working. And the procs are inconsistent. And so, you know, hey, just take the card off. If you can't use the card properly, it's broken, and you need to go with something else. On top of all of that, with that super low attack speed, I'm just not a fan of it on Wraith. So, yeah, again, I go with the Shatter Golem and Heavy Hitter build, and I'm much happier with this build. From here, I'm going to head back to mid, and this is where we kind of wrap the game up. Now, we get an Iggy kill, which, you know, hey, that's great. We've taken one of their heroes out, and you can see our Wukong is pushing that lane, and my entire team heads over to go deal with Wukong, which, you know, we just got a pick, and we've got this Shimby here in mid. You know, now is the time we need to be pushing an objective. We don't need our entire team to rotate to deal with, you know, that Wukong. And you can see our gadget heads over there, and instead of actually going through the jungle and going through safely, she runs through the back of him and gets absolutely deleted. Now, I do make a dumb play here, and I end up going down, but, you know, I was kind of frustrated at this situation, so I was bloodthirsty. But I'm going to go ahead and blow up the minimap, and let's rewind and take another look at this. Alright, so what I've done is taken a cutout of the map, and I've actually slowed it down, so this is much slower than real time, but that's the way I can kind of talk about everything. Now, this is where we take out Iggy, and you can see as soon as we get the kill on Iggy, this is when their Shimby and their Wukong show up. Now, Wukong is dealing with the safe lane, but that's just a tier 1. You know, it's no big deal. He can take that out. We are currently engaged onto Shimby, you know, and we should be killing this Shimby. You know, me and Richter are here, and as soon as Wukong downs that tower, our entire team turns and runs away. You can see Richter even turns to look back at me, and you know, I'm thinking, hey, we're all here to deal with Shimby, but I didn't realize our entire team was going to rotate to deal with Wukong. Now, I say, guys, you know, y'all left me, and as soon as I say that, both my teammates turn around and head back to me. And you can see our gadget goes in behind the minion wave. Now, by her going in behind the minion wave, she gets absolutely deleted. You can see she doesn't even make it into the tower before she dies. And, you know, that was a very, very poor choice. You should never go into, you know, run behind a minion wave. And, you know, we were really relying on her to deal with that wave because, you know, we all came back to mid. But since she can't even clear out that minion wave, you know, we've got to go respond to that. And, you know, that's very, very unfortunate. But that indecisiveness of my team turned, you know, we could have taken out that Shimby, but by having my team entirely rotate and then turn around and rotate right back, you know, once you make a decision, you have to go with it. It would have been much easier to say, no, you leave, Wraith, you get out of mid lane, instead of going, you know, whenever I say, hey guys, y'all left me, instead of going, hey, you know, you need to get out too. Just leave. Let's go deal with Wukong. That would have been a much better choice than for them to turn around and come right back. So, you know, that's one thing we definitely have to work on. And you can see from here, you know, it gets pretty sloppy. Well, you know, those 3 just terrible plays we made really cost us the game. The gadget running behind that minion wave and, you know, getting deleted, our indecisiveness with our tanks, and then me dying for, you know, no reason at all, really. You know, that really cost us the game there, and it were really poor choices. So, hopefully that shows y'all, you know, we can definitely make some better choices anyways. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if y'all did enjoy that mini-map blow-up and kind of explanation, let me know. It does take a few extra steps, and I'd rather not do it if y'all aren't enjoying it. But thanks for watching, guys, and if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it yet, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.